I'll be doing a review of the book Shootout, which is written by Phil Knight. So it is his autobiography, and about the author, Phil Knight is the founder of the brand Nike, which is one of the most popular global sportswear brands in the entire world. So this book actually tells about the struggles that he had to face, and while establishing such a global brand, and also the passion that he had from the very beginning, where nobody believed in his dreams, and how much effort he had to put into believing in whatever he was going to do. So the story begins with him just being a student in Oregon University, and he had absolutely no idea what to do with his life, and he didn't have this passion back then. And while studying in the Oregon University, he was a track star, he was a runner, and during that time he met the trainer Bill Bowerman, and he plays a very important role in the establishment of Nike as a global brand as well. So after graduating from the University of Oregon, he joined the army because he had absolutely no idea what to do with his life. So after joining the army also, he still didn't know what to do with his life, so he just decided to sign up to the Stanford Business University. So after going to Stanford, he kind of realized what he wanted to do with his life. There was this one particular paper that he had to do for his class, which was any business plan that the students had to submit. And while he was thinking about what to do, he kind of got struck with the idea that there was this phenomenon in the US during that time, that there was a time when German shoes were flooding the US market. But after some time, when the US market was flooded by German cameras, and when the Japanese cameras came into the US market, there was absolutely no demand for the German cameras. So he thought, why not shoes as well? If the companies like Adidas and Puma that was completely dominating the US market also was asking for higher payments. The prices of these shoes is very high. So he thought, like, if he is able to find a way to import these Japanese shoes and bring it to the students, the athletes in the US, it will be very beneficial for them, and it's a very good business plan. So he gave this business proposal, but the professor, along with the students and his friends, completely rejected this idea. But he still had faith in whatever research he had done. So after he graduated from Stanford, he decided to just go for a world tour, and one of the main plans was just to go to Japan. He went to Japan, and he didn't have much idea about what the culture was, how to go and talk to businessmen there. So he had to study the Japanese business, Japanese shoe companies and everything. And he realized there is this particular brand called Tiger Shoes, which was very popular, and it was also comfortable for the people to wear as well. So he decided to meet the company that was producing it, that was Onitsuka. So he met the Onitsuka company by disguising himself as an executive from a very high company in US, which was not, he was lying. And he met with them, he was able to impress them with all the facts regarding the US market and how much their shoes will be sold there and everything, and they decided to just come into a contract. And he went back home by writing the contract, but after 1 year only the shipment of their shoes came. So during that time he worked as an accountant, and he was also saving some amount of money for that. And when the shipment came, he immediately went to Bill Bowerman, who was his coach in Oregon University. And the coach also really liked this idea, and they decided to become partners. And each of them invested $500 for this, but still it was not enough for running a business. They had a lot of ups and downs in their business as well. It was very hard for them to find an office for them. So they decided to create a brand. He named their company Blue Ribbon Sports. It was the initial name of Nike was Blue Ribbon Sports, and they started to establish that company. And they also gave the advertisement that if anyone is interested in investing in this company, which is growing rapidly, please invest. But nobody really cared about the company. So there were some employees that he managed to employ, because the shipment was coming from Japan all the time. So some of the employees was there for managing all these things, and they were also Bowerman and Phil was going for every track meets, and they were meeting with athletes, the people who were there, and also their coaches. And he was trying to create that base, some good followers who were really impressed with the shoes. and with the help of these things he was able to like bring some sales into it, but still it was not enough. He tried to like borrow from the banks, but no bank was ready to give him any collateral or any money, they were not ready to give him money because there was no collateral, and also they were a very small startup. So even though there was a lot of financial struggles, the sale, because of their hard work and also because of their like mouth-to-mouth marketing strategy, he was able to sell these shoes to so many people, and almost 70% of the runners in America, because of them, were wearing Tiger shoes of the Onitsuka company. So Onitsuka also really liked the fact that their shoes become very popular in US, but they really liked the fact that they were popular. So they wanted to go to a bigger distributor, because BRF is just a startup company. They wanted to make their product more popular, so they wanted to go to a bigger distributor. But and also the Onitsuka were, even though their contract was, even though they wrote the contract, they were breaching it a lot. They were not providing them the quality that they ensured, and also the shipment that they were giving was also very late, which was which BRS was not able to like completely able to like satisfy for their demands in US. So these problems were going on. So Phil and his people decided to like have a confrontation with them, but they didn't actually satisfy any of the needs of BRS, and finally Phil decided to just stop any contact with them, and also he realized that this Japanese company was also trying to find other distributors, which was also heartbreaking for them, because they were having a good amount of like agreement and everything that was going on from the very beginning. So this was a point in his life where he decided to become a producer of the shoes on its own, rather than depending on other distributors, and that led to the birth of Nike. After the breaching of the contract with Onitsuka, he decided to like come up with a brand name, and one of his employees, Jeff Johnson, came up with the name Nike, and a student gave the popular squish sign of Nike, and hence they established the brand in 1971. And they also their creative head, Bill Bowman, the captain, is a creative head, because he was very enthusiastic about these shoes, how to make it comfortable for the athletes. So he created a shoe called Waffle Trainer. It was very popular, and since Waffle Trainer became popular, the Tiger shoes lost its importance. So because of that, Onitsuka filed a complaint against them in the law, in the court, and there was a huge battle that was going on between them. But in the end, they were able to, Nike was able to prove themselves to be right. So in the end, Nike was able to come out successful. After this, they had a lot of endorsements with famous athletes during that time. And another thing was that even though they were doing pretty well because of the sale of this new shoe, they were not able to establish themselves as a global brand. So he had this dream of establishing themselves as a global brand. Because of this, they went public. They decided to sell their shares, and because of this reason, the brand, which was always money poor, was becoming more and more powerful, and also they had a lot of money in their hand. And also there was another situation where they were able to sign an endorsement with one of the most popular basketball players of that time, Michael Jordan. And they also released a line of shoes called the Air Jordan, which was also very popular at that time in US. And because of their like steep success of such a startup brand called Nike, there were so many other brands like Adidas and Puma in the US, which didn't really like their growth, because they were bought by so many US athletes and people as well, because it became a fashion statement. So these people decided to like they decided to like come together and compete with them, and they with the help of like finding one loophole in the American import law, they were able to file like $25 million fine on them. But in the end, Nike was successful, and Nike didn't have to pay that fees as well. So they had to face a lot of hurdles and struggles and everything in order to establish themselves as a global brand that it is today. So still it is one of the most successful sportswear brand, and it's also a fashion statement because of Air Jordans. The story actually ends with this autobiography ends with him saying that he is very thankful for everything that happened. He had this passion, he followed it, he never questioned himself, even though nobody really believed in his dreams and his idea. And he's also thankful to his wife, which he met during the establishment of VRS. And this book also gives a light into like some idea about what it is to run a company. Just being a simple student, he was a very he was not a naturally born leader. He also admits in his book that he is not a naturally born leader. He didn't have any idea on how to build a company, but it was because of the people that was around him that he was able to establish such a company, which means that he is very down to earth even though he is a billionaire now. And he also the Swish sign, which is of Nike, he was able to create that sign with the help of a student by giving $35 to that student. But after they become successful, he gave so much money, he gave almost 15 or 20 stocks of the company to her. So now she owns almost $1.5 million from the company. So he was very thankful to each and every person who helped build the brand. And in each and every part of the book, there are so many employees that he is also explaining about, which helped in the development of this brand. And this book also explains about the problem that he had to face in his personal life, since he was so much focused on building this business ever since a very young age. His son died in a car accident in 2004, but he regrets the fact that he was not able to give much importance to his personal life because he was more focused on his business. And so he explains about the importance of managing a good work-life balance. And yeah, this is it. This is the whole story of Nike and how they became a global brand.